Hello, everybody.
Hello, guys.
So this has been a long time since we've even recorded anything on YouTube together. Um, we decided we've been doing this for a long time, chatting because me and Brigitte are like on the same wavelength all the time.
Yeah,
And we just have so much to talk about when it's just us. But we decided we'll record something
our
because,
rambling, our rambling, because
yes,
like
basically.
we start talking about something, and then like so many things come up, and we're like, oh, we wish we recorded this. So
Yeah.
we don't know what to expect from this. But if you want us, if you want to hear us talk, I
Hmm.
mean, whoever is on my channel, this is Joseph Moon. Um, and if you're watching on Joey's channel, I'm A9ua Arcana. So we knew each other for feels like centuries, and I'm
It
pretty
really
sure
does.
that's true. So yeah, let's
Do you
just
know
see.
what? Actually, this is just something that came into my mind. Do you
Here we
remember
go.
I told you how did I forget what I said now, but I had a dream about you. Remember I said that you were stepping in front of me in the astral?
Oh my God, that was a very interesting one.
Yeah. So I keep having these dreams that Brigitte is the divine feminine kind of in a way, and she's as well, we're not in a relationship. I'm gay. But so Brigitte is like, so she's not my twin flame or anything. But
Let's not use that word.
yeah. But in the dream I kept seeing you like going in front of me, and it was like what do you call them? You know, like in honey, the little
Hexagons. Is
hexagons.
that correct?
Yeah, and you were stepping on them, and every time you would like step into like the void, but you would create one of these hexagons, and you would keep going, and there was like this smoke or something. I can't remember fully, but there was something chasing us, and it was like I trusted you to create the path. Bizarre, but we've kind of felt that anyway. That like every time I'm going through something here in Ireland, you're going through it, but it's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're always in sync. Like
Mm-hmm.
you were like to me when we were arranging to talk, like, Joey, is it okay if you can talk in 40 minutes? And every time I'm like, oh, I was going to just say the same thing. It's so weird how that works. But I think that people have some, I think people have like, a version of their, what would you call it? Higher self,
Yeah,
kind of through your friends and different people in your family
looking
and stuff.
after people.
Yeah, because like I really do feel like we're like mirrors, like proper mirrors of each other. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just wanted to say that because I like I still find it so interesting because it's kind of freaky how much we
Yeah,
reflect.
for
It
sure. And you know
weird.
what's interesting? I don't think when you were telling me the story last time, you didn't though. You mentioned like steps, and what's interesting because I have a very strong connection to bees, and at one point, I don't know if you remember, I said I wanted to get a tattoo where I would have those hexagons, kind of like blending and kind of fading away, and it's a very strong connection to me and those hexagons and the bees and and the honey and all of that stuff that I have personally. And
Wow.
you, I don't think you remember that, but you saw it in that was it meditation or channeling, or I don't know what you were doing.
It was actually, oh my God, that was freaky. My eyes froze. Um, it was in the astral. I was in a, would you call it a lucid? Yeah, a lucid. You know when you know you're dreaming? It was in
Lucid.
one of those. So I was like, but it felt, I don't know how to explain, but sometimes it feels like I'm in the lower astral. So we were doing some kind of work for the collective. That was something that we were doing. It was like we were trying to, the feeling I had about it all, it was we're trying to lead the darkness astray, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to like, hey, it's like, in movies when they're like, hey, look at us over here, we're distracting it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was like. That was the whole dream. And we would keep running to different points, and it would just, we were trying to make this energy wear itself out in some way.
Mm-hmm.
kind of like buying time. But that's not what it was, because there's no such thing as time in that dream world. But
Yeah.
it's just very interesting. I didn't know though. I thought you wanted like snake skin. I didn't actually know it was like you wanted it in the shape of a
I
hexagon.
wanted snakeskin really long time ago, and I wanted a sword, a tattoo at the same, I think, or similar time when I wanted the hexagon tattoo. So it was a bit mixed up around that time, but it was already around the time when we were living in London together. And when you were talking right now, so we're gonna start, literally just talking about a lot of stuff. When you were talking about the mist and the darkness and all of that stuff, literally yesterday, I was thinking, I was making a coffee, and I was like, why are people called light workers? Because I don't feel like I'm a light worker. I feel like I'm a dark worker who is able to find certain answers in the dark. So I'm digging in the dark all the time. And
Mhm.
people who come to me, we're digging in the difficult things, and
Yeah.
I want to know what's the problem, what is the underlying issue. So I'm digging into issues, which is kind of, set as shadow self, as darkness. And, and I was like, I don't feel like I'm a light worker. I'm a dark worker, and that's what just rang with me. And when you were talking about that, I'm like, you just saying something that I was thinking about yesterday when you mentioned that darkness, in a way.
Mhm.
But I think we should talk about something that we haven't really touched on in person is the collective messages. Am I froze?
No, no. I don't think so. No. Um,
So what happened? I'm gonna start talking about what was happening on my side, and then you can talk about your experiences. We'll put it together.
hey, you've thrown this
Basically,
on me. I'm like, oh, whoa, this is gonna get.
basically, so I think it was the last week or so. I don't know. I'm so lost in time, but it was last
Oh,
week where I've invited my friend, my mom, or well, she's my friend,
your
and
mom is the
and,
best.
and I was like, I don't know. I kept showing her, videos about pyramids, saying that the tallest pyramid is not actually in Egypt; it's in Guatemala, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Because I was watching Yes Theory's videos on that, and all of that stuff, and other pyramid stuff would come up, and then I somehow, this is a very different type of video to watch, I somehow found this guy who is a beatboxer. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys will probably know him because he's kind of famous, but I never discovered him until now. He's called MB14. And I kind of watched his, performance. He was on The Voice French Voice. And I was mind blown by his abilities and his talent. And the thing is, I went on Spotify, I found him, and the only song that I have liked without even listening was called Permit, because that was very in sync with me at that time. And I was like, I'm not going to play this song just yet. I need the right time for it without knowing why that was. My JBL was charging, so I wanted like a proper sound, not like a laptop or phone sound for that. And I played it in the bathroom while showering because the best acoustics is there, and I just blast it. When I'm listening to the music, I need to listen to every sound. And that song, literally, I had to switch off the shower and I had to listen to it, really listen to it, because it blew my mind. It's not about only the sound itself. I'm gonna go online very quickly and read a bit of the lyrics, Joe, if you don't mind.
When you played it, I don't like. I am not really even into that kind of music. It's not even that. Normally, I'm not really interested in that kind of music.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it was like it's not about the language when it's like something so much more to there's so much more to it. It was like I was having a download as I was listening to it, and when
Mm-hmm.
you played it, and when you sent it to me, my eyes as well were starting to water, and I told you about that. That when I am, I forget how you explained it, but for me, it's like when I get a download through a song or something, or I remember something, it's just I start to cry, and
Yeah, but it's a
that's the
different, there is no emotion behind it. Your eyes start just watering because it's, how I like to translate it. This might be my truth though,
Mhm.
but I think it's gonna vibe with you. once you get something very intense, almost like a strong confirmation, it comes out like that. It's like your
It's,
higher self is telling you, yes, 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 yes,
yeah.
exactly that, you know?
I like to say, because like your tears are like salt, and I like to call it like sacred salvation, because it's
That's
or
nice.
sorry, sacred secretion, because it feels like divine when it happens. It's so
Yeah, yeah,
fucking.
for sure. So he starts his verse with, he goes, have you ever felt like you weren't born at the right time? That you already been through all of this in the past life? Why do I feel so connected to the ancients? Why do I always want to go back to the essence? And then I was like already in another planet when he said that.
Me
Because
too.
I played video games, now I want to play chess. Trees only grow over time. That is patience. Got my paychecks, but no answers. Now the question is, what's beyond my senses? And I'm going to skip a bit. He goes, but I'm curious about what's coming after my last breath. Pyramids, temples, statues, and candles. Apparently, you cannot always find truth in samples. Animals, please check up on my genes. My DNA is like a time traveling machine. Pictures along my sleeves, preachers and disbelievers, creatures among my dreams, figures of my unrealness. And the chorus goes, in my veins there is more than Arabic blood. In the past, I even saw the pyramid growing. What about the ancients and their wisdom? I guess I have the time traveler syndrome in my veins. And then he keeps repeating that. And, I'm just going to continue the story a bit because then the next day or a couple of days later, I was like, oh, Joey uploaded the video. Let me check him out. And I played it on my TV, and I'm just doing something when I'm listening to you because I like to listen to your intros. I love those the best, honestly, because you touch on the collective energy. And then you start talking about pyramids, and I just stopped that video. I send you that song. And then I'm going to play a bit of how Joey reacted to that song because I just knew I didn't need to even tell you much, but it was just a very nice and very honest type of reaction of what's going on.
I don't
I'm
even
just
know
gonna
what to
roll them up a
say
bit.
anymore about what's going on every fucking week. I'm like,
oh my God, Brigitte. I'm crying, but not. Do you ever get that when you cry, but you're not emotional? It's like you can. I don't know how to explain. I'm not sad or anything, but sometimes tears. I'm crying, but I'm not crying.
And then
that was so fucking.
That was so fucking deep. And then you just couldn't like come back to life after that. And I was like, yes, like he feels exactly what I feel about the song, and it's just another dimension. Because my mom also, she had an evening with me. We had some wine. We talked about pyramids and how this is another, we talked about aliens and all of that stuff, how people could have done certain things and what they couldn't have done. And she kept talking about those pyramids, and I would see, signs of pyramids everywhere. But it was just, it's not about, what you wish for seeing, you see that. It happened very organically because sometimes when you subconsciously kind of keep looking for something, or when you're clinging onto something, you're going to see it everywhere. But that was very organic and very natural. And it wasn't only from me, it was from my surroundings too. You, my mom, my friend, I went to her. She also said, oh, I don't know why. And she started talking about Egypt and pyramids. And I'm like, oh, here we go again,
mm-hmm.
So tell me with you, what was happening with you?
Well, so this is like so what I've been doing recently, I haven't really been sharing much, but I've been going deep with myself and just learning more about my own abilities to whatever I'm tapping into. And Janie, actually, I spoke to you about Janie and the healing that I'm kind of was doing. And this has just helped me open up a lot more. And I'm gonna have her on the channel actually to talk more. I think it's next week. I'm gonna record maybe with something with her. But every night I kind of like to just pick up whatever wants to come through, and sometimes nothing comes through. But for some reason, a lot kind of just happens on one day, and it's overwhelming. And on that actual day, I'm not going to go too much into it because again we spoke about not saying certain trigger words, but
Because YouTube bastards.
okay, fucking YouTube bastards. YouTube, you're a bastard.
Let's go to library altogether.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the vision kind of came to me, and it was like we weren't on this planet. Well, not we, because I was just a ball of light observing, basically, and I was just kind of floating and moving around. And the pyramid that I was kind of went up to, I could see the reflection of my light when I was looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
So and then I kind of came back again. I was like, because it was kind of a weird hazy feeling to the dimension that I was in, basically. So I knew then, I was like, okay, I'm not actually on Earth. I thought I was in Egypt. And then when I came back, it was like the pyramid it looked like Egypt. The layout looked the same, as in the way that they're laid out.
Yeah.
But they were crystals. They were just crystal pyramids. And I was like, oh. And all of a sudden, there was a certain person, and I spoke about that in the intro, kind of, and I said this person might be working with interdimensional beings and stuff like this. And
you can link that down below for people.
Yeah, people.
I will link it down below for you guys.
Yeah. So DT is the initials of this person. Basically, I felt that this person, he's very well known, is somehow working with this. That was basically what my intro was about. But for some reason, it felt like all of a sudden these ancient beings, higher versions of us as well, have awakened, and they've come out of these. Oh, I have shivers. Oh, I'm feeling that light. Like now, it was like the light kind of was coming straight out through the pyramid. And you know the way we love the organite. Everyone talks about those organite crystals and stuff, and it just felt like there was something so sacred about it, and it was like they're here, and that there has blown me away since, because I've been feeling more and more like it's so much. There's so much more to come with this, and people have no fucking idea. Like things are going to get very, like, people are going to be a little bit dissociated with it, because it's not something that we've had so much hidden from us that is sacred, and it's special, and we know deep down in our soul. So for some people, it's not going to be that hard when it does happen, because you're just going to know that it's truth. But for some people, it's kind of bizarre, like, to believe that aliens are real, and that dimensions are real, and that you create your reality, and that is the full truth. When you're in the present moment, and you're living in the present moment, that's when, and I want to talk about this actually in a minute, about manifestations, because people have a wrong idea about this. When you're in the present, in the now moment, that is when you're connected to God, and that's when God is everything. And that, for me, is what we're moving into. We're moving into the present moment, and that's why the whole disease, they like to call it a disease, the whole disease has basically brought us into the present moment. So it's a blessing in disguise.
It had to happen.
Yeah. And isn't it so funny that anyone that talks about that, like last year, they feel like it went so quick, but they also feel like it was so slow. Like it felt like 10 years or something. Yeah. It's because that's the timelines kind of coming all together as one. And that's why time feels weird for people as well. But I honestly think our lives are just beginning. Like, do you not feel that?
Yeah, it's like we stepping into completely different type of, I don't want to call it life, because it's dimension.
It is, though. It really is a dimension.
Do you remember, Joe? I would just want to interrupt very quickly. I don't know if I spoke to you a month ago or so about that, because we haven't talked for a while. Do you remember how you already told me then? See, when I read people, I remember nothing, just glimpses. So just those. I don't know. But for you, what I remember, we talked about pyramids way before that. And remember the card that I pulled for you? I'm gonna go and get that card actually.
I vaguely remember. Go get it. I'll remember when you show me it.
Yeah. So talk to them about something. I'll be back in a minute. Oh my God.
And this is just something that I wanted to kind of clarify for people, because I don't want to spend too much time on this topic because it's so weird. She's gone, but anyway. So a lot of people are kind of worried about where we're going, and people are worried about their career, they're worried about their love life, everything. All of the things that matter in the 3D reality are starting to now fall apart, and we're having to really find ourselves in here. And some of us have worked most on that last year, and now we're ready for change. But there's a lot more of us that are this new kind of energy, and this we're all kind of coming now together as one, and we're all being kind of forced even more so to face our fears and face ourselves. And with manifestation, it honestly feels like, because in the old world, because I'm going to call it that now, the old world was the 3D dimension, and in that dimension, you manifested through the ego, is what I feel. You manifest easily because it was all about the materialistic world. And a lot of us who are light workers, we found it kind of hard to make money and be successful and find a nice relationship and all this stuff, because we were not made for that. We were here for right now. And this is where we get the rewards of like natural abundance, because that's what I feel like we're moving into. It's natural abundance, because getting a nice car and a fancy house and being a celebrity, that's not natural abundance. That is inorganic. And that is why people need to change what it means to manifest truly from the heart, because I don't have to manifest. I don't even think about manifesting anymore, because everything just falls into place with me because I'm living it. Do you know what I mean?
Why? Because when people want to, let's say someone says, "Hey, Joey, how can I be the CEO of this company, or how can I be well known?" What is the underlying wish? What is going to give you? What is going to feed your soul by being there? So this is very, very ego based. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be chasing for stability, money. Go and get it. Open your arms very freely. Don't sabotage yourself. Even if you want to be famous, for people, I feel like, if you've noticed, I don't know. Let's take an example of Vikings, right? And the main guy, the main character, Ragnar. How he got the role in that TV series, he was super chill the way he recorded his audition. He was just like, I just need money for a farm because I want to have a farm in Australia. I'm a farm boy. I'm connected to the earth and stuff like that. And he got the role because he was coming from heart. He wasn't being anyone that he's not.
Mm-hmm.
And he got the main one. And interestingly enough, that showed in the script too, where at one point he didn't want to be the king of the kings, and he just wanted to live peacefully. And I think, where's the peace in what you wish for? What is gonna feed you?
Yeah, and it's that there's so there's so true though. There is no right or wrong in what you want to manifest. Like if you do want to manifest some money, but it's because there's some other, like it's just this is it again, want. It has to be it has to not be want. It has to just be known. You have to know it.
Yeah, if it belongs to you or not.
Because like, for example, there are people then that are part of breaking this whole reality, and there's still parts of it that have to change, like with stuff that's happening in the world. Like we're still figuring everything out. So I think sometimes it's confusing, like there's no rules to this, but I just want people to know that when you ask someone why your manifestations aren't coming true, I can't tell you that. You have to figure that out really on your own, because it's something your beliefs need to change. And that is very multi-layered. I feel like that takes a lot of time. You can't just change that overnight. And I think that is the biggest thing that we have to work through on our own, is because that's the magic that has been manipulated for so long. People think that witchcraft is...
I knew you'll get there.
Yeah, it's so annoying. People think that, because it frustrates the fucking shit out of me, people think that witchcraft is lighting a little candle and salt and all this, whatever you want, if you want to do that as well, whatever. But like, the real witchcraft is like the media and the way that we or some of our music is so negative, and just there's so much stuff behind everything. But it's what you have to just be aware of what you're consuming, because I can watch a horror film and not have it affect me because I'm not giving my power away to it. And it's just, that's what I feel like the real thing is that you have to be aware that some stuff, a lot of stuff, takes us out of the present moment. So if you want to get out of the present moment to just relax, I think that's fine. You need to know how to you need to know how to snap yourself back, because we came here to enjoy life, and that means whatever you want to do. You want to get your tits out on camera, that's complete.
I literally, I wanted, at one point, I wanted to talk even about porn, you know? Some people enjoy doing porn. Jesus, be the best porn, you know, I don't know, actor, performer that you can be. And that might be your actual life path. You know, you are there to do certain things that you enjoy, as long as you enjoy that. Because you know, a lot of people, I believe, but hey ho.
No, but you know what though, Brigitte, this is the stuff that we need to talk about, because again, there is two sides. There is two sides to every coin. This is a symbol that triggers a lot of people because they think it's the devil. Okay?
Yeah, I know.
When people like need to get over the whole devils, and
it's like a broken phone game, you know?
Yeah.
And so many things have been twisted over time that now it feels like we are here to untwist it.
Yeah, you know? Like there's two sides to the coin. That's why I brought that up in the symbol on the coin, because the meaning of that symbol is been twisted. And as well with the porn industry, there's some sick ass shit that goes on there, and it's very, very like not okay. But why not envision a world where sexuality is seen as sacred? And maybe someone, I see this in the future because I see it in some of my clients. I don't tell everyone, but I see some people are working through the divine feminine energy, and a lot of that has to do with sacred sexuality. And
it has been a lot repressed lately.
Yeah. And a lot of people are having issues with it at the minute. And I that's why I want to get to talk to, because a lot of the people that I'm talking to at the minute are very much, you know, I can refer them to those people, because I don't know, I just know the energy and what I see. But what I am seeing is that there is a lot of people that are, because in the timeline that I'm on, I do see porn, but I feel like it's going to be something completely different, and it won't even be called porn. It'll be called something else, like sacred sex or something, where it's kind of like, and even tantra is twisted as well. It's there's so much in the mind when it's more now. We're moving into the feeling of what we're doing. We're just going to know what's right, rather than trying to think on what to do. Like, oh, I need to, you know, you need to visualize the energy, you know, the whole tantra stuff. Like, I don't fully understand that. I think that that's sacred in its own way, but it's still, there's distorted. Everything feels like it's a little bit distorted because it's been going on for so fucking long, this old magic.
Yeah, of course it is. I brought the cards, so we can't.
I forgot about this.
Yeah, I know. I didn't even think maybe I should just leave it behind. But anyway, coming back to the pyramid, you know, I just now remembered what the meaning of that card is, and I believe you might have had both of them come out because I took two cards. Yeah, I think you had both of them. So the pyramid showed up in your reading like that.
Oh my god.
And you said,
oh my God.
Crystal, it's not in stone, Joey. You just forgot about it.
Fuck.
And that's humanity waiting for it to crash. So this is a devil energy. This is a devil card. That's something that's been, you know, held away from us in a way. Now the tower is crashing all of it down, and we can access, or we can rebuild in a way.
And look at the above that is Aquarius.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Holy fuck.
So here we go.
The tree of life is behind that. Yes. And that is
I remember now exactly how we saw this first pyramid, you know, how it showed up, because I referred to a tree, and you said I saw a tree in my vision, and then I showed you this card, and then we started talking about pyramids, and then it kept on going. So that's why we want to record our conversations, because we go like, what the fuck, all the time, you know?
We do this all the time. We're always like, what the fuck? But that there is crazy, because can I see that again?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you know what I was talking about, the stuff that I don't want to say.
It connects to the story. We demolishing the devil energy. Wait, it has to be.
That's like the military, and that is kind of how I seen it. And is that a female on the horse, or am I just tripping?
It's a guy with horns.
Oh, okay.
Like a master of some sorts. You can't see it because it's not going to focus that well.
But this is just amazing, because, and look at the star as well. Look, that card is connected to like the 21st of December kind of shit as well.
This is
like
basically new hope after a shitty period that we have.
What deck is that? That's so fucking deep.
I know. In between tarot. You know,
funny story, it's like, because we're not even in the age of Aquarius yet. We're in between. Oh, wow.
So funny facts about this deck. Thank you very much, guys, who are supporting me. But one person reached out to me saying, hey, I want to get you a Santa Muerte deck. And I had a feeling, and I trust all my feelings, that I should go for a different deck. I said, I'm so sorry. Do you mind if I choose another one? I didn't know about that, but a person has already sent me a Santa Muerte deck. So it was just like, so we don't double it. And I came across this in-between tarot that I found really interesting, because every suit, maybe you'll want to get this. I think you channel.
I think I do know.
But anyway, I'm just going to take a couple of cards from the same suit. Maybe someone else will want to get it. I don't know. If you would take the, let's see, the cups suit, basically say you have the one suit, you have a story of a character. In one suit, you're going to have one character going through things. In the cup suit, there's going to be someone else. So in the one suit, there's a journey of this person, right? Of this gal, basically. And there's a whole story in that, you know, in one suit of that person. Now, when you get to coins, there's the story of someone else, you know, who's gone through stuff. I mean, it's just by character. Every suit is a new character.
That's like, that's like this deck. I don't know. I would love to just get it. I forget what this tarot was called. Lost Forest, I think that's what it's called. It was on Kickstarter, but the quality is not great. Let's just say that, because I'm
here too. Don't get me wrong.
Like the card stock on this one, if you want to get it, I don't know, maybe there's a new version, but I thought it was gonna feel, but it's not as good as I thought it would be. But the artwork is fucking amazing, and it's the same thing. It's like they all line up and make a picture, but it's like.
Oh, can you show me one from close up? I want to see what's the vibe of the
Let me just get to. So there's the 7 of 6. Yeah, well, those two kind of come together, but like there's not really much going on there. So like this is the 6 of Earth. It's a very different deck, but like it connects. And then what's happening over here, there's a fox, okay, and the little fox is getting lost, and then there's more happening. So when you put it out like this, you see the whole forest, and at the end of the forest there's I think it's the 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Earth. There's a little white fox, and it's like, oh, it's so nice. She's like a little like it is a really nice deck, but again, it's not probably for someone who's new to tarot, because it's very different. But yeah,
Cool. I like that a lot. Is there
Um,
anything else that we wanted to chat about? Because I mean,
how long have we been going? I
I
feel,
have no idea.
I feel like this is a good little like start to.
Yeah, we don't want to drag it. It's gonna get boring for
Yeah.
you. Um,
Um,
but if you like us just recording our chats, guys, like our catch-ups whenever we have time, let us know. We can record it next
we
time.
have to we have to do the blindfolded thing someday.
Yeah,
Wait till you see this. Look what I got because I've been doing it with myself. Hold on.
I've been doing it with myself.
that sounds
I've
so
been playing
wrong.
with myself.
So I have been really enjoying bondage. Do you remember when I used to talk with a Russian accent when I was drunk in London?
That was hilarious.
Just remembering, oh my
And
god.
people's faces, those who don't know you,
I
because like
know.
I'm just gonna talk about it a bit. So I introduced Joey to my friend group, and we all a little bit not normal, so that's why I love them. It's the sense of humor. It's way too much for some people. But Joey incorporated in our group so well that we talked with guys on Skype, no, on Facebook, I think a month ago. We did a catch up because now I moved, from London. And Mario goes, Brigitte, if we're traveling anywhere, make sure Joey's there. Like, Joey will know about that. Because it was so sweet when we were skating. Remember, roller skating on my 30th birthday.
And I fell.
I saw Mario, like that's how caring those guys are. He was always kind of beside you, but not trying to intervene you in a way in case you trip. Because I love Joey for that because he lets his inner child just go. He doesn't care, he just goes, and that's why I think your energy is so beautiful in the way because people feel so relaxed around you because
Well,
you just
thanks.
live your life in a moment.
Yeah, well, like you guys were really good at you guys were really good at it. And you just were like doing all these fancy twirls and stuff. I'm just like,
I was in a dress, Joey. I couldn't do SHITE.
oh yeah, you actually couldn't because your dress kept going up. But I fell about 20 times. I just kept getting back up and I was like, I'm gonna go again and again.
Big smile.
Yeah,
That's
and I was
what
like, shitting myself. And then I would look, and then Mario would be like my dad or something on the
Yeah.
side of me. And I was like, okay, I'm safe. He's there. But that was that was your 30th, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was such a good night.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a blindfold.
Oh my God.
And it like, so I haven't actually been using it as I'm lying. I haven't been using it. I haven't had time to use
You
it.
didn't play with yourself.
I haven't been playing as much as I would like to.
Okay, so if someone is new to this, because some people might not know what we used to do ages ago, we would basically blindfold each other and play games. Joking. But
keep going.
even I was trying to reverse Joey to straight guy. Basically, I'm joking. Oh my God, this is another triggering topic because I watched something on, oh my God, another bullshit, where there was some kind of counseling for gay people to turn straight, and parents would take their young kids to turn them straight, but that was somehow connected to the church. And obviously there are a lot of stuff went down. But anyway, for the next time maybe.
We actually should talk about that because me and you've talked about this before, and I am in the LGBT community and I am very opposite to what a lot of people think and believe because I see it from a completely different lens, and not many people would see it from my side.
I think a lot of people see it from your side.
I think a lot of people on my channel definitely do, but
people are scared to speak up, I think.
Yeah, but I'm just like, this is it's just a lot of bullshit. And it's actually embarrassing for me in some ways because it's not fair that even people have to, because it's like society is making people look like a joke. And this is in all areas. This is not just in the LGBT community. It's in, sexism, racism, feminism. It's just people are being played and abused and making them we're confusing people and making them feel like they have power.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like at the top, they're laughing. But that's all going to change. So that's a good thing. But it's really frustrating from my perspective and where I am and looking at it. And I'm like, it's so annoying. But that is another topic because it's a very passionate.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a very broad topic because what you just scratched the surface, because
Yeah.
I know exactly what annoys you, but I think people could interpret it taken from what you're talking about in so many other ways. So we might talk about it next time.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be listening because I have no word in it because I'm straight, but because I kind of hung around gay people since 16 years old, because I had a very close friend who was gay, is still. And
But
then
this is the thing,
I
Brigitte.
know how you go about things, and I'm very close to you both. Well, not anymore with Evaldas, but you have a healthy approach to this, and I think it should be shared because a lot of people in my surroundings too, they see the same way like you, and I think a lot of other people too. Anyway, so
this is the thing though, I just want to say is that people are getting offended about, I'm sorry, people just get so fucking offended about everything, and this needs to fucking stop. Like, it's so annoying. Like, seriously, this frustrates me because since I was a child, I never understood the behavior of people. Like, I don't understand why my sexuality was a big deal. That's why I came out so early. I was like everybody cop on. Like, what's the big deal? And then it was the same with veganism too. Like, I wanted to be vegan, but I was doing it for myself just because I just didn't really resonate with eating meat. It just never really settled with me. But then I went to London and all these vegans were attacking me for stuff like I didn't even realize. I used to smoke.
yeah.
I used to smoke and someone was like, that's not vegan and it's got beaver's butt in it or
You're
something.
just doing your own thing, you're minding your own business, and there are people who are preaching.
Yeah, and this is what needs to stop. We need to just accept where everyone is at, and like, it's so much higher than blaming Belinda down the road because she has a belief that you don't like. Who cares?
It's all about shaming, and it's very ego based now, because I'm better than you because I'm not doing this and that and that, because you have to be like this. Where you're not even comparing yourself to anyone, you're just living your life. I'm just gonna share a bit of a story when we lived in London. So basically, I was really close with Joey's. Then you were already partners in that time.
Yeah, before I met you with him.
Joey's ex was basically my friend since I was 15, I believe. So I knew him for a really long time. And he called me and he said, hey, do you want to move in together? Blah, blah, blah. And then we saw each other a couple of times before, and then we moved in together. So I didn't really know you. But I knew that you were, I knew a bit about you. And then when we were cooking, then I realized that you were vegan, but you are not vegan straight cut, you were just vegan for yourself. Whenever you feel like you don't want to eat something, you don't eat it. And then one evening, I remember I was coming back home. I was super drained. And I was just like, oh my God, I don't know what to cook. I don't know what to get, something quick, chicken wings or pizza, whatever.
Oh my God, chicken wings. I remember you eating that all the time.
I loved it in London. I miss it here so much. And then I get a message from Joey saying, don't buy anything for dinner because I cooked dinner for you and all this. And I'm like, what? And I came back home.
Oh, I remember.
And that's what, opened my eyes to, because I would see people preaching shit, about veganism, that you have to be certain way only. Otherwise, you're not in our group. Those those kids in school. You're not cool enough for us. So that's what kind of situation this is. And Joey cooked, oh my God, an amazing stew that was meat based. You used, I think,
I used minced meat, kind of.
Yeah, minced beef, then with peas, and there was mashed potato, I think, and some veggies on the side. He didn't obviously taste any of it, but I was eating it. I was like, you don't even know, people who can cook cannot cook like you. And for you, what was important for me, for you to take that extra mile, because, you know, I was kind of, you know, a bit careful with vegans, because I lived with someone who was like that. Like, she was making sure that her pan is not touched by, you know, tiny bit of meat that was sacred in a way. And so that's what I knew, you know, and all the media stuff. And then you cook this amazing meal that was consisting of meat. And I was like, oh my God, that's what open-mindedness is like. That's what no ego is like. You know, that's what...
You made me realize something. Like, I did, because I wasn't even thinking about that. But now looking back at it, I'm like, I'm very open-minded. Like,
yeah. I mean, you're super open-minded, but you're also very... I don't know even if I can find words for it, but you know exactly what's right, and that's coming straight from your higher self, you know?
yeah. I remember when I was leaving London and we cried. Oh my God, we cried
my
so much.
And I'm not the person who cries.
Neither
Joey
am I.
was trying to teach me how to cry. You know, after work I would get home pissed, and Joey's like, let it out. I'm like, oh, fuck this bullshit, you know? And then I would get wine and I'm fine. But
I remember you're sitting on the couch and I was like, Brigitte, just cry. And
I was
like,
trying. Did you see me trying? I was like, okay.
and then I'm like not supportive at all. I'm like, good. Now do you feel better? I was like, good.
I love tough love.
Oh,
So
God.
yeah, I cried my eyes, I remember. And then I sent you a song when you were in the airport, Hold On to Happiness. Maybe someone wants to listen to it. It was super, super cool. Again, I came across it very, I don't know. I don't look music up usually, but it just came on somewhere. And the words said, you know, hold on to happiness. And I knew that that song was for you at that time because we were going through changes. And in one part of the song, it said, we would drink cheap red wine and have conversations. And it was just basically summing up what we would do. You know, we just talk a lot and dive into things and just have some wine. And it was just sacred, you know.
That's how we learned. That's how we learned tarot, was we had fun with it.
Yeah.
That is, when people ask me about tarot, it's like, find someone who wants to learn with you and practice that, because how quick did we learn?
Yeah,
we got it like instantly.
but
like,
we were kind of like busting our asses off, because I remember I would come back home, I wouldn't even want to eat. I would just drop my bags, I'd see you, and I would get my tarot. And sometimes I'd have to force myself to do other things because I was like, we need to get to the bottom of this. And we would just basically ask each other questions, you know, about people we didn't know. So Joey would think of a person, not even sometimes tell me, you know, or I wouldn't tell him the name of a person. I'm thinking of someone, tell me about them. But this wouldn't be predictive. That would be factual information. So it's all about practice. It's all about practice.
That's the best way to do it, actually, is the guess who.
Yeah.
The guess who game with tarot is so good, because you start to trust, because that's all it is. It's all it is trusting yourself. So if you can describe a person and someone that you don't know or whatever, you start to trust yourself. And that's how you tap into this. Like, I don't even have to question my intuition anymore, because I just know that it's correct, because I've had too many coincidences. And that's all through our practice of like trying. And that's like this as well. Remember when we did that remember that we were like,
we started clarifying what this is for people, and we went on a rant again, and we're coming back to what it is.
Let's finish with this, because this is what we'll do maybe another time. So will you explain it, because I'm not very good at explaining that.
So we basically blindfold, either I would blindfold Joey or he would blindfold me, and I would just he started and I just basically sit in the background, and Joey would be on the screen like that, and he would shuffle the deck and pull one card out, which I can't see.
What are you doing this for?
What did I do?
Like, he's shuffling.
Oh my God. So
my face is red.
Shuffle the deck. Why is the Russian coming out? Okay.
Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga. And I would just basically have to tell him what I see. But it's not about, you know, describing the card exactly, because how people think it has to go, that they have to see the exact image right in front of them. Straight away, you might start sensing that you feel maybe dark color somewhere, a shadow somewhere in that corner. You'd start going by, you know, the outline kind of a card. and then saying what you feel. Is there a light source? Is there a person? So we basically started doing that, and that was a lot of fun. Now I'd be scared to do that after so long, because it requires quite a lot from you. This is quite a difficult exercise. But yeah, let's do it sometime, because it's been a really long time.
We should actually do a practice run someday, because I haven't done it with anyone really, and but I do want to say this, that I feel like you need to have a strong connection with the person you're doing it with, because I've tried to do it with my mom, and I've tried to do it with other people, and I think that what it is, if they don't believe in your gifts,
yeah, that's what I wanted to say, because I don't believe it's someone who has to be in tune as much. I think if someone doubts that this is gonna work out, they kind of F off your energy in a way, and you almost literally blindfolded,
Yeah,
it seems like you can be for people who are not believers, or who are just here to test you out.
That's the same thing. Yeah, actually, that's so true. I've had that with one person before on camera, and it was so awkward because I was
to test you.
No, they were just in victim kind of like, oh, my life is shit and all this kind of stuff, and just like everything was just like,
it was a no, like a child.
Yeah, and I was just like, and anyway, I couldn't even get anything from them because I felt so much like real deep, like they needed more than tarot. They needed a full on, like, I don't know, shamanic kind of fucking like, I don't know, because it was. I hope that person's not. No, they don't know who they are. I know they won't know who they are.
But I mean, it seems like there's like lack of taking responsibility for their life. That's what it seems like, and then that's when that victim mentality appears, when you think everything is out to get you and everyone, where you're just not doing things that you're supposed to be doing.
But you see, that's the thing. I was that person too. Like there was a point in my life where I was like, everyone's out to get me, everyone hates me, da, 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 da. I was as well, but it's so hard to see that though. I think it takes, I don't know, I don't even know how I got out of that, because what that is, that's the darker energy really trying to destroy the shit out of you, and no one can really, you have to save yourself. But that's with everything. No one's coming to save anyone. We all have to save ourselves.
Yeah.
That's the truth. But some people are just even deeper in that. And it's hard to see people in that, but you can't take, you have to be compassionate, but you cannot really get involved in helping them more, because the more you try and help them, the worse you get, because you are feeding the parasites that want your attention. It's not about healing. It's about sucking from the people who are caring. True compassion is about being like, I can't help you. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. But I don't really attract anyone like that anymore, because I've set those boundaries, and you're the same. When you set those boundaries, we learn through our work we've learned the same things. And it's like, we had these issues with charging more money, but like if we didn't charge more money, we were like drained with all the work, and we had all those like abundance blockages. Like we both worked through so much abundance blockages. Like, but remember when we were like, can you imagine like when we have that many readings, and we were like, we
were talking, can you imagine you had like 5 people booking with you a month? But it's just because we were so like not wanting to kind of charge people the price that other people were charging.
We were doing it for free for a good while as well.
Yeah, I think that's a necessary part for anyone who's trying to also practice. And I think in a way you kind of give back. But when doing free readings, I would give you guys an advice if you're just starting. Do not give free readings to people who are nagging you or who are in desperate mode, because they're not here to learn or to help themselves. They're here just for you to fix them. And you're not going to fix them, and they're not going to fix themselves, okay? So it's just how it goes. They have to live through that in a way.
And there are people, and this is just the truth, there are readers that are there for those people. There is. Like, there's people
Yeah.
that are just kind of like doing, they're all, this is the thing, there's so many layers to different tarot readers as well. We're all different. And some people, like, I might not be as good as some other reader because maybe I'm not seeing something about myself.
Mm-hmm.
But once
Yeah,
you break through it, you're like, oh,
yeah, the experiences.
yeah. So never judge yourself where you're at, or because at the end of the day, we're all in this together, and we should just enjoy life as
For
much.
sure. We've been there, been places, done things, you know, even if not this lifetime, the past ones. So
Yeah. If you don't like this life, just tap out and go into your past life for a wee while, and like, have you ever done that where you've just kind of zoned out and went into a completely different reality? I do that all the time, and it's not
oh
very
my
good.
God, don't start. I'm gonna start another story about
Yeah, we need to
that's
stop.
in the
Okay.
timeline.
Okay.
So bye.
So bye. Let us know, comment down below if you want us to do more, and if you have anything that you want to talk about or want us to talk about, because we could talk for hours.
Yeah,
we do talk for hours.
we talk for at least, like, when we talk from, I'd say, 4 to 6 hours.
We did for one time, I think it was nearly 8 hours. So
yeah, not normal, for sure.
But we used to do that when we lived together, so it makes sense. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording now. So
Bye,
bye
guys.
everybody.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.